This is a standard demand and supply diagram showing exactly how buyers and sellers interact to determine the price of a product. On the x-axis, we have quantity, and on the y-axis, price. The downward-sloping demand curve represents buyers, and the upward-sloping supply curve represents sellers. The specific point where these two lines intersect is market equilibrium. At this exact coordinate, the quantity demanded by buyers is perfectly equal to the quantity supplied by sellers. That means there is zero shortage and zero surplus. If a Cambridge exam asks you to define market equilibrium for 2 marks, you do not need to explain how the price is reached. Simply stating that it is the situation where demand equals supply guarantees full credit. You will also see this tested in multiple choice questions. If asked for a feature of a market in equilibrium, look for the option stating that the market will clear. Market clearing is the official terminology for equilibrium. It means every single product offered for sale is bought, leaving the warehouse perfectly empty of excess stock. When the quantity demanded does not equal the quantity supplied, we enter market disequilibrium. If a supplier pushes the price up above equilibrium, the intersection splits. Look at the horizontal gap between what consumers are willing to buy and what producers want to sell. A common trap here is confusing microeconomics with macroeconomics. Disequilibrium has nothing to do with government budget deficits or trade imbalances. It applies strictly to this exact gap between the demand and supply curves. Let's pull the price down below equilibrium. If the price is artificially low, a shortage occurs. The quantity buyers want is way out to the right, while producers are only supplying a small amount on the left. To earn full marks when defining a shortage, you must use comparative language. Writing "supply is low" only earns 1 mark. You must explicitly state that demand exceeds supply. Any price point outside of that center intersection creates immediate friction. You either have unsatisfied buyers facing a shortage or sellers stuck with unsold goods. That friction forces the market to react. This brings us to a heavy 4-mark challenge, explaining exactly how a market moves from disequilibrium back to equilibrium. We are looking at a market currently stuck in a shortage. Before I give you the answer, look at the curves. How do buyers react when there aren't enough goods to go around? When demand is greater than supply, desperate consumers will bid up the price to secure the product. That rising price encourages suppliers to produce more and consumers to demand less, pushing the market right back to the intersection. The exact opposite happens during a surplus. If supply is greater than demand, producers have excess stock sitting on shelves. To sell it off, they have to lower their prices, which pulls the market back toward the center. These continuous adjustments in price are the mechanics of the market. They guarantee that whenever the market is out of balance, price changes will eventually force demand to equal supply again. Let's lock in your exam readiness by reviewing the specific rules examiners look for when grading these questions. First, never use macroeconomic definitions for market concepts. Second, always use direct comparative terms like exceeds when defining shortages and surpluses. Third, you must explicitly label the price and quantity axes and the original and new equilibrium points. Finally, if a question only asks you to draw a diagram, do not write a long paragraph explaining it. You won't earn marks for text. To support that journey further, connect with Fundoo Tutor for expert one-to-one guidance tailored to your child's learning needs. Mastering these logical bridges and algebraic shortcuts is what transforms a standard exam performance into an A-star result.